Welcome back to the Hold Nothing Micro podcast. It is such a joy to be here with one of my closest friends, Laura McKowen. She's a writer. She has two best-selling books. She focuses on sobriety, and her first book is called We Are the Luckiest. The second, Push Off From Here. Both are extraordinary reads. If you are even tinkering with the idea of sobriety, if you are wondering if it is cool, if you are wondering if you can do it, promise you, you can. And she's also the founder of a community, an online sobriety community called the Luckiest Club. And Laura, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. Before the end of this call, please don't let's forget. Let's read the 9 things.
Okay. All
Okay, I
right.
want that to happen. But first, Laura sent me a couple of really encouraging notes. For the first was her actual blurb for Hold Nothing, but the second was a text. Both of them touched my heart so deeply that I felt more courage, more bravery in going forward. I want to read to you Laura's blurb, which I've just pulled up. Hold Nothing is more than a book, it's an offering, a blessing, a quiet revolution. Elena, who is so dear to me, has a rare and radiant gift. She transmits ancient spiritual wisdom with a clarity and grace that lands straight in the heart. In these pages, she weaves timeless truth with modern resonance, crafting something both grounding and elevating. This book is a soul companion, a steadying breath, a sacred conversation, and there is no better gift for this moment, and no one I trust more to offer it. Can you imagine, dear listener, hearing that said of your writing? I nearly died. I nearly
It's all
died.
true. It's all true. It's
Oh
all
my
true.
god. So I wanna start with what you loved and
Mhm,
what touched you, and then I wanna move into actually what you're working on now because your new book, I've been there for every step of the way. I
mhm.
cannot wait to have it, and I would like to share it with our listener today.
Okay. Well, you know that I have been asking you to write more personal stories for a while. When you started to do it on your Substack, I was like, yes, I want to know more about your process and your heart, especially areas where you've struggled. And because so often you don't get to really know that about teachers. More so now, I guess, in this age, but I just wanted you to offer that because you're extraordinarily talented in many ways, but as a writer, like, I don't know that you have seen yourself as a writer.
I always wished that I would be a writer. I recently got back in touch with somebody I haven't spoken to in 40 years, long story short. In the
Wow.
Zendo, he showed up. We didn't recognize each other because we were
Right.
in silence, and
Mhm.
by the time we did, he said, "Oh my god, you said that you wanted to be a writer for Vanity Fair."
What? You
I
did?
swear, I must have said that. I don't remember saying it. I remember feeling it, though. I
Yeah.
remember dying, wanting to write something real, something in a magazine or something in a book, and when I saw his face, I remembered that yearning.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you are. I mean, you very much are, and you're truly one of those rare people who is, um, you are an artist, a true artist. You are a teacher. You're so talented in so many ways, and you're a writer. And I feel like this is the book where we get to see that.
Yeah.
Um, and I loved. It also came to me at a time where I am still, uh, looking for looking to cultivate safety within myself,
Mhm.
and I feel like the book is largely about that.
Mm.
Cultivating safety in oneself, and not safety like safety as in the only safety there really is. Um, it's safety in terms of acceptance of impermanence, safety as in acceptance of all parts of us, safety as in acceptance of others. My favorite One of my favorite pieces of the book, it's on page well, I think it's page 156. I'm of course looking at like an advanced copy, but it's um, where you talk about a new definition of reality that's brought to you by Roshi Joan Halifax, um, and others as you started to study at Upaya. And
Yes, I've got it.
you
It
say
is actually 156.
an understanding of bravery emerges. It's our willingness to be with reality. And I have that highlighted and underlined because that to me is where so much of my pain I have a strong, and I think this is very human, a very strong fear of sitting with an emptiness.
Mm.
Yes. The idea of emptiness and seeing what's there. And I think some of that is a fear of seeing reality. The places that I don't want to see about me or the world or other people. And I love that as a definition of bravery. I would have never really put it that way.
The teachings in Zen as they travel through Roshijon and through other teachers at Upaya are squarely landing in this zone of being willing to be with things as they are and not running. And I realized as I texted you a couple of days ago, I just came out of 6 days of
Mm,
silence in Sesshin.
mhm,
Sort of connecting in is what that word means, touching in,
mm,
bringing things together, Sesshin, stitching things together.
mm,
And it's 6 days in silence. It's 42 hours of sitting. It's no joke. Plus Orioki and the Zendo is still sitting, meaning we take our meals there.
mhm.
And I texted you and I said, I realized, just pull up the text because it's like, it was so profound to me. And I wasn't supposed to be online, but I
I loved it.
had to. I had to. I wrote, I realized after yet another 30 hours of sitting in silence that I spent most of my 20s and 30s addicted to weed, love, and attention
Mm,
from humans whose names I've practiced forgetting for years
mm.
so I could be skilled at forgetting the pain I was in. I mean, what?
I know. Well, and this is a place that I am in now. I'm you caught me at a place where there's this like fresh pain of trying to just trying to run from it, to push it down, to evade it, to not really have a willingness to just be with it. And so your book is what I said. It's a guide, it's a balm. It's so important now, and you make things that seem inaccessible, very accessible in it through your own stories and also just your interpretation of Zen.
Hmm, thank you. I'm
Mhm.
so glad that I get to serve you now.
Yeah, well, yeah,
What a
you're always
blessing.
mhm.
No, but, like, in such a concrete way. You know, your writing
Yeah,
has served me for a long time, long time.
yeah, yeah.
Can we do the 9 things right now? Can you, like,
Right
give us
now?
some context right now and read it to our listener? Let's go.
Okay,
Come
sure,
on.
sure. Okay, do you want context for them or
Yes,
just
please. Yes,
okay.
please, for sure.
So, I got sober in September of 2014, and 1 month before you.
Right?
We did not know that, but
We
it was
didn't know that. 1 month apart.
mhm, and I started writing. Writing was really how I got my way through that period of time. And I wrote a lot. I wrote online, I wrote publicly. I also talked a lot on a podcast. And so I would get people who would write me letters asking me various things about sobriety and their own struggles. And a woman wrote me sometime in 2016, a couple of years in, and asked me, she was going through the hell that is loving someone who is struggling with addiction. It was her sister, and she was afraid and angry and sad and confused, and it had been a long road, as it often is, and she was worried her sister was going to lose her kids. She was worried she was going to lose her sister, and she didn't want to push her away, and so she was searching for words tell me the words that I need to say, that I can say to her that will reach her. And I wrote her a really long response. And um, it's actually still on my website. She called her sister her lobster from Friends, your person.
Yep.
And she said, what should I say to my lobster? So if you Google Laura McKowen lobster, the whole thing will be there. But I wrote her this long response with a lot of words and a lot of things to say. And then at the end, I just said, hey, if this is too much, just say these 9 things to her. And one is, it's not your fault. Two, it is your responsibility. Three, it is unfair that this is your thing. And four, this is your thing. Five, this will never stop being your thing until you face it. Six, you can't do it alone. Seven, only you can do it. Eight, you are loved, or I love you. That's how it was written at the time. And nine, I will never stop reminding you of these things.
It's just so simple and so profound.
Yeah.
I've read them to so many people that I love,
Mhm.
and they've been so helpful.
Yeah, it captures. I mean, I wrote that in that moment, but it's what I needed to hear too. It's captures the paradox of, reality, the reality that you are writing about,
That's
that
right.
you are saying it takes such bravery to face. And the reality is always in paradox. It's that you can't do it alone and only you can do it. It's um, this is your thing, and it's unfair that this is your thing.
Yeah.
This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And I, I, it's funny now. I'm seeing this sort of Buddhism or Zen in the 9 things, because what you are, at least my limited understanding,
Mhm. Mhm.
based on your work and others, is resting in non-binary, in that razor's edge where many things are true at once. We don't know anything for sure, and it's all impermanent and flowing and ever changing. Um, am I right in that? Like,
100%. One of the things I walked away from this session was exactly this, which is nothing is fixed. And particularly after, writing the book, getting it out, rallying the troops, as it were, for the last several months, and then going to sit, coming to a complete
yeah, oh my gosh.
fucking standstill. Excuse my French, dear listener. And what a revelation it was to see, as I've seen many times before, but it was different this time, the barrage of my thoughts, and to
Wow, yeah.
notice how fast and furious on days 1 and 2, how tired I was on those days. And by days 3 and 4, even into 5, I had this relationship to my breath, and I could see what gave rise to the thoughts. I could see the energy, the momentum that gave rise to the thoughts, and I began to parlay that momentum into another breath, particularly another exhalation where I would be embodied, draw my waist to support my spine and lift up the floor of my pelvis and get another moment of sanity without a thought.
Mm,
It was so crazy. Like, it was just I don't know if this is I never know if I'm doing it right. It's so many hours now, I never know if I'm doing it right, but I do know that the embodiment is the antidote to this barrage of thoughts that are constantly morphing into other things. I'll have one thought, and then it will become something totally different, in front of my very eyes, and that's how I know
yeah,
exactly what you've just said. Everything is changing
I
all
had this
the time.
vision as you were talking of, like, this is well, first it was the tip of a spear, And that when we're run by our mind, which is like, I've been in this state for a full week because I've been moving and it's just like the next project and the next thing and the next thing. It's like fully just a dopamine. I'm purely, and I'm sort of tortured by all my thoughts and my racing mind right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
And there's personal stuff going on too. And that's like either the tip of a spear or the like crest of a wave when you're in that space, you're just at the top. You're riding this like chaotic point at the top. And but the sitting and the breath draws you into the under part of the ocean
Right.
where you are
Yes.
actually still and calm.
Yep.
And I I could just like see that when you were talking. Like I feel even today I'm very frenetic and
Mm.
it's so uncomfortable.
Yep. Yep. And we just get better at this as we get older. I was just gonna say that Rosemary Watola Traumer is one of my favorite poems. She wrote a poem recently, I think it was a few days ago, that I'm just now unloading my inbox, but she
Mm,
writes a poem a day. Rosemary is Rosemary, Merry. It's called Ever Changing. In my urgency to clutch it, I made peace a thing to be protected like a jewel, like a token, instead of a force that transforms.
mm.
What if I let peace sweep through me as branches are cleared by the wind? What if I let peace flood me, scouring what I thought I knew? What if, no matter how hard I tried to capture it, peace slipped through my grasp like mist, like rain, like time? If I trusted an ever present peace as much as I trust ever present chaos, who would I be then?
Oh my god.
I know. It's so crazy. She's so good. I have such a file on this one. Like, you know where you save emails?
Yeah.
It's way too big. My file on her.
Wow, that one hits.
Yeah, she's become a good friend. I value this human so much.
Do you wanna know the other part piece that I wanted to bring to you today?
Yes, I would love.
This is where you are, I think it's witnessing the self, and it's
Ah,
where
early on. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
early on, and
Yep.
you're talking about, when you
Got it.
were, addicted and getting high and,
Yep.
you got approached by, um, I believe Jonah's dad and a couple others saying, like, "It's hard to work with you right now."
It was Jonah's dad and our babysitter, who was our
Oh,
babysitter, who is still my family. She was our babysitter until the moment we left New York for COVID. She's still dear, and they sat me down and basically did a very quiet intervention, and they were like, "You're impossible right now. I don't know what's going on with you, but something is off."
uh-huh.
And I just wept, and I said, I'll do better. I'll do better." That was the beginning of the end of my addiction, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I loved is you said, "By some grace, I began an earnest effort at sitting meditation practice during this time." Like,
Yeah.
what? And it's a time to bear witness to many ongoing mistakes with some semblance of kindness. So, what I find miraculous about you and that is it is certainly not most people's reaction, or maybe it was a gift that was given to you
Mm,
somehow to sit with themselves at a time like that, and that it resulted in some semblance of kindness. So can you talk about, because you talk about this all the time, that you find kindness for self
mm.
in intimacy with yourself in sitting, and I don't yet. I struggle.
Yeah, I think one of those things that I've noticed when I do those long periods of sitting
Mhm.
is that I'm not nice to myself most of the time. I'm
Mm.
kind of an asshole to myself.
While
And
you're sitting, or you notice that you are like, when out in the wild most of the time?
yes, both.
Okay.
Because while I'm sitting, I'm kind of reviewing things.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, things go through my consciousness, and I'm like, "Okay, what am I doing? What's happening here?" And
Mhm.
I can feel all of the ways I sort of run through glitches and things that feel uncomfortable, and I'll sort of go through these things before I can settle into my body in
Yeah,
the sitting, when you're particularly when you're coming from the outside world to a 7 a.m. sit or a 5:30 p.m. sit. A lot of the gears have to slow down, and that takes about 10 to 15 minutes usually.
yeah,
I notice that I am just a jerk, and I have a lot of judgments about how I do things and how other people do things, the world according to me,
yeah.
and that takes time to unwind while I'm sitting. But the sitting is the thing that unwinds it because I can see, "Oh, yeah, 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 just a bunch of thoughts. You're cute," and I can sort of just untangle
It's like
from.
when my cats have zoomies at the end of
That's
the day.
right, zoomies. That's
Yeah,
exactly right. It's zoomies
meditation.
in the mind.
Mhm.
Exactly that. Jeez.
And they have to do it. It's like that's how they get it out.
Yep, that's exactly
Okay.
right.
So, do you think the answer is a little bit longer sits? Maybe I'm not getting out of that zoomies period, and I'm like, "Oh, that was all zoomies. That sucked."
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't suck because even when it's all zoomies, you're still there's still a sort of clearing is happening,
Yeah, true.
sort of like having a bad dream, you're just clearing a possibility from the field.
Yeah,
But it does make a difference. The sits that we're doing are 25 minutes at the shortest, 40 minutes at the longest, and certain periods of the day, it's one of the sits during the sessions are that one is 50 minutes actually, pardon me.
okay.
50 minutes, 15 minutes of walking, and then somewhere like 30 minutes of sitting. And those 25 to 30 minutes, I can kinda get somewhere. In 50 minutes, boy, the last 10, 15 minutes, I can tell are just complete zone.
Wow.
And I
Yeah,
don't know exactly how to describe it other than my eyes get really, small. This is an open eye practice,
yeah,
Zazen. My eyes get very small, and I can just see sort of a sliver of the spectrum of reality, and
yeah,
I'm completely in my body. There's nothing else happening. Everything is happening, but there's nothing else happening. And those are the times I'm convinced, and there's science on this, those are the times when the body goes ratcheting into homeostasis, like reaching for the healing settings biologically.
okay.
And there's a ton of science on this. The brain as well. Gray matter is built, body goes into healing, organs are healing.
Yeah,
There is science out there. I can't refute it. And I leave those long sits and I look in the mirror at the end of 6 days and my skin looks amazing and my eyes are so clear and I've had no darting, distracting activity. It's
right.
just the clear vision.
Amazing. So, let me ask you this. Is there anything in your life presently, or has there been in the past, that feels like there's an ache and it's deeply painful and sort of consuming?
Mhm.
Like a relationship, or has it been Jonah in the past, or has it been like I and I'm asking this because I'm assuming people are going who are listening will someone at least will know will be like, "Yes, that's me." And so
Mm,
I want to hear what you say about it.
mm,
There's an unease, a sort of I mentioned that or maybe I didn't mention it. I said it to someone else today. Like I'm restless right now. I'm very irritable in my own skin,
mm,
and it's uncomfortable. It's a
mm,
disquieting feeling, like it's an unsafety. Like I'm I'm scared. I'm not safe in my body right now and I'm in pain. Not physical pain, emotional pain. And I
mm.
can attach a face to it or a person or a situation, but I don't but it's something more, it's something deeper. have you do you know what I'm talking about, and how do you relate to that? Like, if you were in that place, how would you relate to that going into a meditation?
I would bring it into the meditate well, yes, first of all, I do have that, and I have had that a ton in the past, and my kid's gone through lots of strife in his life, and of course, as his mother, I felt that in my body,
Mhm,
and I still do, when he's going through a hard time. However, when I sit for meditation, whatever that thing is, I will bring it in, and I will purposely hold it in front of my face for as long as it takes until I can settle in my body with that reality in front of me.
mhm,
That's all I do. And I take the time to sort of, it's like turning over a stone and seeing the backside and the bottom side and the sides that I can't see. And I just look at the whole thing and I think, okay, there's nothing I can do about this now, but there it is. It's clear in my field and maybe an idea will come. I don't know. And whatever comes, if I need to remember it, it will come back. I know that. But that's what I do. And then I go back to, okay, inhale, I'm going to collect my attention. I'm going to exhale and let it settle. I'm going to create some organization around my midsection and remind myself of where I am,
yeah,
remind myself of why I'm here. So yes, I do that. And then I'm not fighting against it. You know what I mean? I'm just with it. Just
yeah,
with it.
and I'm,
Yep.
like, weeping right now because
Yep.
I think that's a thing, like,
Mm.
um, I've been avoiding doing, and as you were talking, I can, see why I can feel why,
Mm.
but it's also so sweet and beautiful, like, it's the resistance to the thing that is hurting me so much.
Yeah. Well said. There's nothing we can do about it at this time, but the more you take the resistance into your practice and turn it over like a little stone, you can make it into something precious if you want, but it's just a beautiful rock, as all rocks are beautiful. Turn it over, look at the bottom, look at the sides, smile at it. Look how cute you are making this into a thing. And love yourself. Be so tender to the previous question. Tenderness with yourself, tenderness with how you're holding these things,
Yeah,
tenderness with the resistance. Thich Nhat Hanh talks about it as like holding your anger like a little child, like a little baby, holding
yeah,
the resistance like that. So beautiful.
yeah. It's like this protector
Yeah.
that's trying to keep me safe.
I just love you so much. I can't thank you enough for being here and for asking that question and I love you. And thank you for your generous offering of this time.
Of course, I love you too.
Yeah. Okay, we talk again soon.